towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. Fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead. Oh, 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 oh.
Hi there, They call me the governor. And we just had the finale of the middle third of the 11th season of The Walking Dead. It's getting very crazy. And we are going to talk about that in depth. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. And I'd like my crew here, who does not actually replace the crew that I had in Woodbury. Sorry, guys. You know, no one here. You're close to Tomaj, but you're no Shumpert. Got to work out a little bit more. But I'd like them to introduce themselves. We'll start with Tomaj. Go ahead.
What's going on, y'all? It's Tomaj from Big Bro and Lotus Reacts, where I do the Walking Dead universe reactions and more. Let's get into this mid-season finale talk.
All right. Machond?
Hi, my name is Machond. I am also a member of the Walking Dead community, and I post reactions on my website. And I just watched this episode, so I'm hype as fuck right now. And I'm kind of mad, but we gonna get into that, y'all.
Oh, we are. Reina, a.k.a. Werewolf.
Hi, everybody. Werewolf. I'm ambassador from the gamers, and I'm excited. Let's go.
All right, and of course, I am the governor, who, is the best villain ever. Negan is a far distant second after Alpha. But don't tell Jeffrey I said that. And, let's talk about this episode. So, since you watched it so recently, Machond, what was... Did we go right into the Leah thing, or...
Yeah, so the opening scene was literally Lance standing in the middle of Hilltop, mad as fuck, as the locusts are just fucking raging in the sky. Great opening scene. They got right into it.
And he stepped in the blood of somebody
of that poor
on.
Hilltop boy.
Yeah, it was a great shot, but apparently Leah was better. But let's jump it ahead a little bit. So we see that, and then we see earlier, what was it, like 19 hours and one act of God earlier, or some shit like that?
Uh-huh. And
y'all know Angela love a time jump.
Right? It was going back and forth between Daryl, Aaron, and Gabriel, and Maggie, Elijah, and Lydia. So yeah, it was going back and forth.
And we got a little peek on the Commonwealth.
Yeah, and Stephanie. She the real MVP. Shout out to Stephanie.
You mean Max, her real name?
Max, I've been hearing Stephanie for a whole season. You gotta let me slowly transition to Max.
So we had the opening scene. What was going through people's minds when they saw the wreck of Hilltop? Werewolf, why don't you start us off?
I'm like, uh-oh. Seeing him standing in a puddle of blood, that did not mean a lot of good. All I was thinking was, who is that? Who's that laying on the floor? And then you see his nasty ass face of Lance, and I was like, oh shit. And then the time jump, and I was like, okay, so something's going down, and I was really excited, and at the same time I was scared because I really wanted to know who was on the floor and who else was dead, because they didn't show like a lot, and at the same time they did show a lot. It was like really confusing for me. I was like, okay, let's do it. Like, don't do this time jump. Like, let me see who that is.
Well, you found out. Tomaj, your thoughts?
Man, I was just like, again, Hilltop is under attack. They will never know peace. They will never know peace. Maggie was minding her business, and they just bring the drama to her door. I don't know. I was just like, damn, Hilltop. I just don't think there's ever going to be a time where it's going to just flourish again like it was. So I was just, I guess, worried like everybody else for who that body was and what was going to happen next.
Yeah, I wasn't so worried about the body. I figured it was probably nobody that we were that attached to. I mean, not saying that who it ended up being was not a nice person and could have had some development, but he wasn't really developed. And then we jump back and we see Maggie bringing out Herschel, and with Marco and Elijah.
That's his name? I never knew his name.
I think Portrait of a Lady, who apparently and Miss Kayla, who knew his name. So I didn't know his name until I fucking looked in the chat. So thanks, chat people.
I literally never knew his name. When
Same.
the opening scene started and Lance was walking pissed off, I'm like, we know you're not getting Maggie. We ain't been out here surviving all this time just to be stupid, sir. Like, come on, get serious. But when he stepped like on that body, I thought that it wasn't gonna matter who that was. I'm thinking maybe there was one of his people that was dead, and then that's why he had like an extra attitude. But R.I.P. to Marco. It was sad. Bless that man.
Rip.
Well, again, thanks AMC for revealing that Maggie and Negan are going on to a series after this one ends, because
Right.
you know, no matter
That's
what
what we
happened, we
want.
knew Maggie was going to be fine. You know, and I don't think that they were going to actually kill off Herschel. You know, that would be like too much. You know, I don't think Maggie would want to live after that, so there'd be no point in the
no.
series. So,
Right.
but okay, so they go off now. I'm confused because it looked like those four were and then Lydia later on. Those five were the only ones left in Hilltop. Everyone else, like, ran.
Went to the Commonwealth.
Mhm.
Either went to the Commonwealth or, you know,
Because
maybe
remember,
they wanted
the
to hide
lady
with
from the
Negan.
kingdom, the lady from the kingdom, Diane, remember, she had left. It was only a few of them. And then that's when Elijah was like, I'm going to stay with you or whatever. So, yeah, it pretty much wasn't nobody there.
Yeah.
Well, how are they a community when there's, like, you know, five people there? It's
Yeah.
like, I thought there were more people walking around when Lance came in with his troops.
There might have been, because I know she left initially. She had left Herschel there under somebody's care, so there had to have been other people there. But maybe they just evacuated first, or I don't know. I have no idea, truthfully.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wonder where they would have went, though. I mean, if she was concerned about the Commonwealth, she wouldn't be like, go join the Commonwealth. And and the
I
Commonwealth
didn't know
has...
where she was taking him. I was like, girl, where you hiding him at? Where do we have to hide? And then when Lydia, I was like, thank you. Thank you.
Well, you knew that the people from that building were hidden somewhere. And
We never knew where.
Yeah, and obviously it wasn't inside Hilltop. So, and we find out that Negan's been cowering like a bitch underground. And, you know... with
In the
his-
Whisperer wormhole, as he called it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Whisperers for that.
Yeah, they have their little bolt holes just in case. I don't know why they have them. They could just hide among the dead, but I guess if some dead hunters came, there would be concern.
Well, they probably traveled to him. It probably led to the cave, honestly, where the herd was held. And then we know
You're so
Vader
funny.
had one
Okay.
to go into Alexandria. So I don't know. They probably just used him to travel quickly. I have no idea. It's just weird. I'm like, how did they have time to dig that? I just can't fathom it. I don't know.
Well, you know, when they said it was a whisper, you know, wormhole, that definitely cleared it up that it wasn't something that they built on short notice. But they're basically standing around all day doing nothing. They don't even have smartphone. Well, Jeffrey has a smartphone. But,
Right.
you know,
Never forget his phone.
but everyone's just standing around in the dark. You know, maybe there's a light down there. What are they doing, you know? Is
Talking about how we want to stay alive.
Negan trying to impregnate all the other women? I have no idea. So,
Because they had a talk in there because he now know that his wife's pregnant. He did not know that last episode. She didn't want him to know last episode, and now he knows. So they had a lot to talk about down there.
That's true.
did he not know? I thought he
He did
did.
not know because
He
she
knew.
said to Maggie, I'm pregnant, but he doesn't know yet. That's what she said to Maggie, and then now he's like, yeah, my wife is pregnant. I'm like, oh, okay, so y'all told each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's
He
something
probably
to pass
cried.
the time. What's that?
Right. I said he probably cried, honestly. And the fact that Annie was gonna go with Maggie, I said, now what we not about to do is kill a pregnant black lady. Get your ass down in that hole with your husband. I was literally yelling like she better not go with Maggie. I was finna be so mad. Oh, I was gonna be so mad if she would have went. She probably would have died, honestly, if she would have went. It was too much going on.
She's bold too. Like she's always ready for the smoke. Like I got respect for that lady.
Of course, Negan was like, "You're not taking my pregnant wife. I'll go." So, you know, shout out to him for
he
that.
needs to be happy, like he's got a wife pregnant. He had all these wives in Sanctuary, and none one of them actually gave him a child. So he finally knocked someone up.
I literally said the same thing. I don't know how all of a sudden he got somebody pregnant, but hey, I guess because he actually like tried to get her pregnant. I don't know. He married her, so obviously
he didn't pull out that time. So. We do have someone in the chat who said that Ethan says no. She said she doesn't want Negan to know that Annie told Maggie about it. So
right.
So he probably knew. I mean, Negan is a lot of things, but he's not that stupid. He probably knew she was pregnant. Yeah, there's a lot of motion in the chat. Too much to... Guys, you are crazy.
Yeah, they talking a lot today.
Yep. Miss Kayla's talking about the pull-out game. You know.
Yeah, he married now. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well, he was married to a bunch of women, but I guess he just liked to pull it out and spray it all over there. Anyway, so let's...
Okay.
Let's move on from there. So...
Leah's on her way to Hilltop.
Yeah, Leah is assembling a team. I'm guessing this team were, you know, they were Commonwealth soldiers who decided to wear black instead of white. You know,
right?
For stealth
I
purposes.
think. Well, Lance had them flipping the coin to pick which side if they was going to join her or not, and then I think he had them switch gear because I think he didn't want Maggie to know Commonwealth was behind the attack. I think he wanted her to think it was just some random people attacking her. I don't think he wanted to come back to him just in case they survived. Maggie ain't stupid. So, I mean, it wasn't going to work anyway.
My thing is, why everybody just want Maggie so fucking bad? I swear, that has been a common theme in the whole fucking show. I swear. Even from the beginning, and then the governor, and then it's like, it's Negan, and then Pope. Like, it's always somebody that want Maggie, and she don't love nobody. Leave her alone. They want her so fucking bad, and it don't make sense to me at all. She don't want to join you. Get over it.
I just wanted to see her tits, and I did. So
it's insane. It literally don't make sense to me at all. And then Lance is just so frivolous with Commonwealth resources. He got a whole second life outside of Commonwealth that Pam don't know nothing about. I hope Daryl and him tell on him. There's too much going on.
Yeah, there was definitely Lance, you know, seemed to be, you know, running operations far beyond what Pamela would probably sanction. I don't know the woman, but she seems too genteel to be doing shit like this. Now, they had, you know, Daryl, Father Gabriel, and Aaron off with one of the teams to search.
And Norman.
What's that?
Did you say Daryl or did I not hear that?
I thought I said Daryl. Did I say Daryl?
Okay, I'm tired. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Durrell. You're supposed to say Durrell, according to Merle. So, yeah, they were off with that other group, and they kind of knew something was up. And Lance gave the order. Because, yeah, I figured at this point, Lance would consider, you know, Daryl, the father, and Aaron to be, you know, liabilities. So, yeah, it was interesting, though, that none of them got killed they were outnumbered by the soldiers, and they managed to kill all of them. You know, I mean, it wasn't hand-to-hand fighting. There was a little bit of that. But what was your thought about the ambush? Did you see it coming? Reina?
Yes and no. I mean, to be fair, like, they were already, like, Daryl and Gabriel, and they were already, like, talking, like, to each other and, like, having, like the eye connection to each other, that I knew something was going to happen. One thing that I did not understand with the ambush was, the hell was the snake doing in there? I was waiting for that snake to bite someone. That didn't happen. That was so weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
And because I was thinking Gabriel was gonna get bit by a snake because Gabriel was like right next to it, so I thought Gabriel was gonna get bit by it.
Or throw it in someone's
Then
face.
yeah, something like that. And then you see Gabriel looking through his scope with his blind eye, and I was like, well, good headshot with no eye, like with able to see through the eye. So that made me laugh. But I think the effects were really, really cool. Like the shots and stuff, they were really spot on. I liked it. It was a good fighting scene. I loved every single bit of it.
Tomaj?
I seen it coming because the thing with Lance is he thinks he can control people and he thinks he can do whatever and nobody's gonna snitch on him, you know, because everybody doesn't have that much power in the Commonwealth. But what he doesn't like is he can't control Aaron, Gabriel, and Daryl. He knows they had something to do with the whole thing, and they lie about it, and he can't prove it. And he just gets mad. He can't control them, and he knows he's continuously going too far, and eventually they're going to say something to screw him over. So at this point, he's just trying to cover himself because he's failing over and over and over and digging the hole deeper and deeper. So I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to have to take them out. Well, try to take them out, but now he just buried the hole way deeper because Daryl, he after his ass. So, yeah.
Points were made.
Go ahead, Machond.
Let me tell y'all something. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, Lance bitch ass got them out on this bullshit ass mission just so he could keep them away from Maggie, because obviously if they knew what was going on, they would go save her. And then I swear to God, 60 seconds before shit hit the fan, I was like, he finna try to kill him. This whole time I'm steady talking about Lance keep pushing them farther out. Every time they check in. And then that last time when the dude checked in, it clicked. I was like, he finna try to kill them. And then when they got to that abandoned like junkyard that was overgrown, like I had already said, but then when I was like, yeah, they about to try to kill them. And then Daryl and them was like, all right, they said they about to try to get us. You could tell that they was slowly surrounding them as they was walking in the middle. They took care of that real easy though, real simple. I am mad that Daryl spared the last soldier and didn't let him get ate up alive. He should have got ate up alive. He killed him first, which I didn't like. Also, that snake scared me, and I wish they would actually use the snake. I guess it was just showing how like everything was so overgrown, but it was a good shot.
Well, some people say, Ethan says the snake was supposed to be a part of the act of God, like the devil is in the snake. When I saw the snake, I was like, yeah, that should have something to do with it. Like, either it's going to startle a Commonwealth soldier who's got the drop on somebody, and that'll save them. Or, yeah, maybe they plan to do something, and they just didn't. They just, it didn't work out that way. It ended up on the cutting room floor. But I think the Commonwealth soldiers were kind of stupid.
They are.
Because... you're walking on a road towards a junkyard with these three guys like ahead of you. You don't wait till they have an area where they can go and hide behind shit.
Right.
You're behind them, you're marching along, you pull out your guns and you fire before they can turn around and a problem. It's like, no, they wanted to wait until they were in the junkyard and they had to surround them, which was dumb. All they needed to do was shoot them in the back.
I agree, but Daryl's plot armor is too strong. They just couldn't outthink him.
Daryl got the ultimate plot armor.
Yeah.
Like,
I just think it's funny. Lance don't get it through his head that we have not survived outside this entire apocalypse from being dumb. Lance is like, sir, we have not made it this far by being dumb. You've been behind walls with food, running water. You are like, Lance is still basically living how things were pre-apocalypse, where he got an army, he a government official, he sent people to go do his shit. Lance ain't never had to be outside thugging, like really surviving in the elements. So you really think you just gonna kill these people that's been out here surviving all this time? Like, it just doesn't occur to him that he ain't got what it takes. It does not occur to him, and it's just funny to me at this point.
Yeah, I still though think that, there should have been a lot more wounds or, they were outnumbered significantly. The Commonwealth did attack first, the aggressor person who starts the fight usually has an advantage. So
Daryl did almost get shot in the head. I jumped.
I thought Gabriel actually got shot in his arm.
I think Gabriel and Aaron got shot.
They got grazes.
With
That
that
ain't
school
shit.
bus.
Yeah, Aaron got great. Like Daryl was in front of the bus at one point, and a bullet hit the bus like right here. I was like, "Ooh, that would have been his scalp." It happened so fast though. But yeah, we came out of
helmets,
but a graze on Aaron's arm.
I wonder if their helmets mess up their vision because they couldn't aim for shit. I don't know. None of them. This
It's a
whole
problem
season,
with stormtroopers throughout the
they just can't
galaxy.
see.
It's
Yeah,
like
Gabriel.
the Commonwealth is like the definition of like somebody who come to do the job. They got all the extra shit, all the expensive shit, and still can't get the fucking job done that somebody else could get done with next to nothing. That's literally the Commonwealth. It don't make sense. At the
And
end
I
of the
don't
day, them people have never had to actually fight an actual war. Yeah, they go do their
Right.
training, their little bullshit, but at the end of the day, they go home, get in the shower, go to bed, go get ice cream next day. Like,
I mean, Lance
they're not
already
really
knew that
soldiers.
Gabriel and Aaron killed all those other people, and now you have Daryl with it. Like, what was he thinking? Like, you
Right?
already saw them
Yeah,
killing
that's
them, all these
right.
people. Like, it had an assassin and everything in there. Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
And he had the three of them kill a bunch of biters last episode. It's like, no, you take care of
Exactly.
them. We're not going to shoot them. We don't want to waste the bullets. And they did it pretty much by hand, except for Daryl used one bullet.
Everybody in the comments is agreeing with Reina saying Gabriel got shot. I don't remember that. Where did he get shot at?
At the bus, like when he was like ducking, he was like shot. I think he was shot in his hand. Because I'm pretty sure like it was like when he was like ducking down and running like past the bus, he got shot like immediately.
Oh yeah, I missed that then. I missed that. I like it when
He took it like a
Gabriel
G.
cut that dude leg.
Yeah, he did.
He's father gangster. He ain't worried about no bullet hole.
I'm the
He
gangster.
kept
Oh
shooting.
my god.
And
But yeah, them
basically,
stormtroopers definitely ain't fought no real people. That you can tell. So
yeah, Phil said Daryl is always watching, is always observing, always ready. It's like, well, yeah, but those Commonwealth troopers were so obvious. I could see it,
Yes.
and I got one fucking eye. So,
Literally.
Gabriel too.
yeah,
The vibe was weird. You could literally feel it. It was so obvious that I thought he was just sending them out there so they wouldn't know about Maggie. No, he was sending them out there to die. But I still caught on before shit hit the fan. So I mean, come on. So obvious.
yeah.
Also, we didn't get into Max, which is she got some whole other shit going on during this whole moment.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
just to finish the thoughts on, I think Lance, as soon as he got Leah, to agree to kill Maggie, he knew that was not going to fly with those three. So he knew immediately he needed to take them out. He's taken out the leader of Alexandria so they can move in and take over. He's taken out the leader of Hilltop, which he can take over a empty community.
Literally, with nothing, it's burned down. And now there's locusts there, so you really can't do shit.
Well, the locusts aren't going to last. They're going to come and go. But, yeah, we'll get to that part. So, yeah, you did bring up Max is basically, a very bad spy. Very nervous about, stealing files. Tomaj, what were your thoughts on the whole Max Mission Impossible thing?
I didn't know what she was stealing. I wasn't sure what the file was. I think there was a piece of dialogue somewhere that I missed, so I wasn't sure what she was doing. But I knew she was trying to get some dirt. And then that bastard Sebastian walked in, being a creep, and I just didn't understand where they were going with that scene because it didn't lead to nothing later. So I'm still confused on what the point of that scene was. Because he seemed like he was like drunk or something. Like he was just acting so weird.
Yeah, he was.
I'm like,
He said poor man's drug. I don't know what that is specifically, but that's what he said.
yeah.
He
I
meant the
don't know.
coffee with that. The coffee that she was like, oh, I took way too much caffeine. There was something with 50,000 grand too much, which she wanted to do into a funding. to help the lesser families. And Pamela did not like that idea, which I was like,
Yeah,
that should have been good for you. I mean, you already have riots going on that you know about. I mean, you already made someone disappear, so maybe you should just take that chance. And then he comes in with those files and this weird dialogue going on about her trying to talk herself out of it, which was weird that it worked out because who was that stupid? I guess Sebastian, but it didn't make no sense that she just walked out of there with that file and he did not bother. Like, what the hell do you have there? Like, it was really, really strange.
He doesn't know what the file is, if it's legitimate or not. He's very focused on himself. So
yeah.
Go ahead, Michelle.
So like the first part. Okay, so we just gonna skip over the fact that her and Eugene sleeping together now. First things first. That was part one. That was part one. Eugene woke up like, "Good morning."
Good morning. I would smoke a cigarette, but I think it's very bad for me. But I would like to. I like not watching.
But then when so that was part one of Max. But then part two, it was so funny to me because you can tell she's never broken a rule in her life. Like, she is sick that she got to take a file out the cabinet. And you can get away with it because this is literally your fucking job. It's not like you're somebody who doesn't work there and you got to sneak in the office. She's literally sick. And Pamela's like, are you okay? And I'm like, girl, lie. Tell her you on your period and you don't feel good or some shit. Like, just lie. Oh, no, I'm fine. So obvious. But she was so fucking scared, but she still did it anyway. So I'm so proud of her that she went and took it. I'm so proud of her. And then took it back to our people. We had a whole meeting about it, which was great. Oh yeah, and then the whole Sebastian thing creeped me the fuck out. It was gross.
Yeah, he's
so creepy. Yeah,
it was giving weird energy. I'm like, I swear to God, if he touched her, I'm not doing this. It was very weird. But I guess he didn't pay attention to her holding the folder just because that's her job anyway.
So what was the folder again? Like what
it was
the
a list. They trying to figure out where everybody is on that list. Remember that list that somebody snuck under the door?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They trying to figure out where is everybody and what the fuck going on.
This had the codes on it, but they thought there was like coordinates or like people codes or like serial numbers or something.
Too much was happening, and I just was not invested in them scenes. So I was like, I don't know what's going on over here. They Connie gonna figure the shit out. I just knew that much.
And you see, Connie's very methodical about how she do it. She like, no, we can't do the big story yet because we don't even get all the details. And I was saying the same thing. I'm like, we don't even know what's going on yet. We can't do all that. Like, no, we gonna do just the Sebastian thing first. And then I'm like, okay. Did anybody else get scared when Ezekiel knocked on the door? Because I
thought that was Mercer, to be honest. That was the first one. I thought that was gonna be Mercer.
I thought it was Mercer too. Same.
I didn't know who it was. I got scared. I was like,
well, everyone was like, oh, I just soiled my drawers. So, yeah. But it was good that the king is getting involved. There is some talk about props to Eugene for getting some twice. So he got to practice with fake Stephanie.
Right?
Practice. So he... And then, and she probably taught him some stuff because he was probably trying to put in her ear or something. But, well, he's probably watched enough so that he knows where it goes. But, he wasn't that close to know the details. So, yeah, he had some practice with fake Stephanie, and now he's got the real, genuine article of Stephanie / Max. Whatever. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I didn't even realize I was still calling her Stephanie until y'all just told me that.
I kind of like Stephanie better than Max, but, as far as a name.
Boo! Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the person. I was going to get mad.
No, I was... There
ain't no Stephanie.
There is
no Stephanie. Not real.
Well, there's probably a Stephanie who got sent by Sebastian to, do some shit. Now she's dead. So that name is freed up in the Walking Dead universe. Yeah.
Somebody said, where's Yumiko? She's somewhere being a lawyer. That's what she's doing.
And someone said that his wake-up scene with Max is the same as his wake-up scene with fake
Cheryl, whatever her
Stephanie,
name is.
Cheryl, yeah, I think, and then and at both situations they were awake before him reading a book or something. So they were like, "Oh, well, that was fun. I'm gonna read a book now." Okay, I guess that says something about Eugene's skill. Anyway, there's a lot of questions about Yumiko and other people. We'll get to that. There's a lot of characters. All right, so we're gonna come back to the Commonwealth because towards the end there's a pivotal scene where Pamela's none too happy. But let's get back to the whole Leah and her troops are invading the Hilltop, and
So they think.
And yeah,
Well,
well,
they thought.
they thought they had the jump on them. I mean, how stupid can they be? And it's nice to see that Maggie is realizing that Hilltop, it isn't about the place, it's about the people. I mean, obviously, I wasn't too attached to Woodbury because I burned the fucking place down. But, yeah, with Hilltop, it's like she wanted to rebuild it, but it's really about the people and having that little surprise for them. I'm not skipping too far ahead, am I?
No.
Okay. So yeah, Leah and her troops go in there. Leah is extremely smart and lets the cannon fodder go first. So she survives the explosion. And of course, Maggie and her crew are congratulating each other. And then Marco. Well, we saw what happened to Marco.
You know what's funny? When they were standing there, I hate it. I can always do y'all ever get that feeling when the camera is focused on some people and they're standing up? I'm like, somebody literally about to get killed. I was like, I swear to God, if they fucking kill Elijah, I'm gonna be so mad. And 10 seconds later, they shot Marco. I was like, damn it, at least it wasn't Elijah.
Right.
When the house blew up, I was like, you know what? How many times did Hilltop got blown up? I was like, Gregory wasn't doing that bad. I mean,
Gregory is shaky.
all the time he was in there, that building just stood. And how many times have it been blown up since Maggie's in there? I don't think Gregory did that bad, keeping that place running.
Yeah, it's time to let Hilltop die. It ain't no fixing it at that point. It's been on fire. They've been blown up. It's done. It's done. But even before all that, I was like, how these stormtroopers go from not being able to aim, barely being able to kill walkers, now all of a sudden they can scale buildings like they special forces.
Literally, they can't even kill walkers.
Okay.
The one with Daryl and them, he put his arm through the wall. If he didn't have that shield helmet mask on, his whole face would have been ate up. You
Absolutely.
can tell they ain't never really had to go survive. What the fuck? These people
But they
are
can
not
scale the
soldiers.
building.
Well,
They're people with gear. They're not soldiers.
This is why Daryl and Gabe and Aaron survived, because Lance is like, he was flipping the coin, but he was actually like, no, I'm going to keep back the people who have real experience to go with Leah, and I'm going to send the idiots who have no experience to go kill Daryl and his crew. And then basically, that's why Daryl and them survived, is because he sent the B team with them and sent the A team with Leah, and they got their asses blown up, which he was not happy about.
Very
No,
upset.
I don't think that's true, Governor. Remember, he was flipping the coin. He was just doing it randomly. He was just assigning people off the coin. Because for some reason he thinks he's Two-Face, and he got to flip the coin to make a decision. He was
Two-Face.
like, all right, heads or tails. And then they just pick, and he's like, all right, you on this side. They're like, what's the assignment? What is we even doing?
Lance is so cocky. He really think he can't lose. He is so fucking cocky because he feel like he got all the resources of the Commonwealth and don't nobody got resources like him. Okay, but you ain't never had to do no shit like this before, for real. Not fuck with no people like our people. No.
Right.
That's not how this works. You send your people to go kill people and do whatever you want them to do. But you know what they always say? One day you're going to fuck with the wrong one. Our people is the wrong one.
Yep. That man just do not know how to lose.
No.
Well, it would be stupid for him to assign people to missions based on a coin toss. I mean, it was just...
That's what he did.
You let them
y'all
even
seen the
pick.
scene?
He was like, what you pick? And he's like, oh, tail.
You gotta remember, if we was able to kill his CIA professional that was for real that nigga, what you think we gonna do to these people that they just gave some suits to and some training? Like, you can train people with all these scenarios all you want, but until you actually really living that shit every fucking day for the whole apocalypse, it's never gonna be the same. It's never gonna be the same.
Right. Even
So I mean, if we could
Princess
kill the
beat up
CIA
the one
dude, it ain't shit to kill them. They can't even fight walkers.
Yep.
And
They
walkers
just
don't
been
even
getting
fight
whooped.
back.
So they fall in the little trap, which was, it was pretty obvious that, it would be stupid of them to not anticipate a trap, but they were stupid. But I did think that, it was very stupid of them to be like, let's just stand around here talking, it's like there could be survivors. Somebody could have survived, come out looking for blood. Don't stand in sight of the fucking building you just blew up. That was stupid.
Literally, just standing there talking.
And then here comes Leah acting like, T3, shoots Marco. And it's like,
Headshot,
okay.
clean.
Yep. She knows what she's doing. And then the whole, they're running from her and she's tracking them. It was quite the situation. In the meantime, Daryl and, his little crew are coming back to help. So, a lot of shit going on.
I was actually mad about that. When Daryl was like, let's split up. I was like, why the fuck would y'all split up? No! But Daryl
Right.
getting to Maggie first. And I'm like, okay. I was so mad when Daryl was like, let's split up.
Especially
Maggie
after
too.
he
I'm
found
like-
all these booby traps, right? He found all these booby traps, and he's like split up. I'm like, are you dumb?
I was so
Right.
mad.
This is not Scooby Doo. What is y'all doing? These
Literally.
is out here.
I'm happy that Maggie told everybody, no, y'all not coming with me. Y'all finna go hide, and I'm about to go chase this bitch or let her chase me, whatever she did. Maggie ain't playing. I'm so happy that she made them not come with her, because they was They was ready to go with her. Knowing them, they probably would have got killed. I really didn't want Lydia to get killed. I would have been hurt. Like, leave that girl alone.
She's been through a
I
lot.
love Lydia.
Yeah, so finally, with all this cat and mouse, Leah actually does
Literally.
catch up, and there's a fight back and forth, which Maggie loses, and I'm like, yeah, but she's gonna be fine, cause she has a fucking series.
I know it make you mad every time it look like Maggie about to die. You get mad every time, don't
It's
you?
like, yeah,
Oh, I know
she's gonna get the
make you.
fuck out of this. Come on. Thanks, AMC. Next, they're
So
gonna be
funny.
announcing a series with Aaron and Father Gabriel. So then
All
they're
the
not
main
gonna die.
characters.
Yeah, they're gonna be like
The
pairing them
Brotherhood.
off, so they can have like 15 different series. It'll be King Ezekiel and Jerry, and will have their own series. It's like, come on, sheesh. So yeah, Maggie gets captured, and yeah, Leah just doesn't want to kill her. If she wanted to kill her, she would have killed her as soon as she knocked her out. And that would have been the end of it.
Real quick, and also, did y'all notice the whole time Lance was talking to Leah, she was ignoring the fuck out of him, and I was laughing. He steady trying to talk to her, and she just getting her gear on, getting ready, ignoring the fuck out of him. He literally talking to himself, and I'm just sitting here laughing at him. I'm like, I know Leah do want to kill Maggie, but I was kind of going back and forth she also don't fuck with Lance, so I was going back and forth I don't know what Leah gonna do. But
No,
yeah,
she just used him. It was so funny because he went on the radio you got my men killed. She's like, collateral damage. I'm like,
Right?
and then I'm doing this my way and hung up on his ass on her own, hunting down Maggie. That shit was funny.
Yeah, it's like she didn't care about whatever Lance wanted. She just wanted some payback for her people, which I totally get. But
Which
yeah,
she knew it was their fault at the end of the day. When her and Maggie were sitting down, damn, am I skipping too far ahead?
No.
no.
When her and Maggie was sitting down in what, it's always a random fucking shack in the woods somewhere. When her and Maggie was sitting down out there.
was that the
I
house
was
that her and Daryl were banging in?
I
No,
think it
that's
was.
somewhere else. I thought that was somewhere else.
I thought it
I'm
was
not
their
sure.
original house.
Yeah, I thought that too. Actually, I thought that
I
was.
didn't think
the
about
same
that.
thing.
I have no idea.
That'd be nice if it was. I didn't even think about that. I thought it was just a random shack in the woods.
Because you know what? Because Daryl got in there, so Daryl
Exactly.
knew where that was. So that must have been that house. Otherwise, how would have Daryl find Maggie?
Did the guy who spilled his guts mention Leah?
No.
No, remember
They
Daryl
figured
found
it
the
out
thing in the
because-
woods.
They said a code like leave something, know something behind. What was the code that Lance said on the walkie?
I don't remember. I know that
Beyond
the
me.
dude that the stormtrooper said something with 15 miles away from here, which they knew it was Hilltop, because that was mentioned. But the house never got mentioned. But Daryl got in there.
Oh
so it
yeah,
must have
wherever
been
they
that.
were, it was close to Hilltop because they walked. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it was the house that Leah and Daryl actually did business in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what my thought was.
When they were sitting in there talking, I was like, at this point, we know that Maggie didn't do nothing to nobody. Everybody just want to kill her for some reason. But when they were sitting there talking, I was like, okay, so like if Maggie did something, this is your chance to like tell us why y'all want to kill her so fucking bad. Nothing, still no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And now all the Pope's people is dead. So like Maggie really did nothing to these people and they just wanted to fucking kill her. Like you took her community because you wanted it. And then you was mad that she didn't allow that. Like it's beyond me why everybody
Well, I'm
wants
sure
her so
Putin
bad.
is a little mad at Zelensky for not rolling over and playing dead. So
Literally,
Yeah.
it don't make sense.
The Reapers never made sense to me. Like they just go around, they don't ask for nothing, they just kill you, take your place, and then you get revenge, and now they mad about it. It don't make sense. I just don't understand what the point of the arc was. I just don't. Like, and
I
then
thought
Leah
the
died in the
revenge
end.
was better.
Like it didn't change anything to the story. It
I mean,
really
they had
didn't.
to fill up these episodes, didn't they?
But we could have did so much more. I would have rather had the whole season be about Commonwealth because that to me is the most interesting part. But the Reapers didn't do anything for me to add to this season. It didn't. I don't know.
they got
Like
rid
it
of
didn't
some dead
change
weight.
nobody. They didn't kill nobody important. Like they was just there. Pope didn't do nothing
Alden.
but talk his whole time on the show. He didn't kill nobody. He didn't do nothing. He just talked. Well, he did
he
kill
was-
one of his own people. But that is it.
I do feel like it made the Daryl and Leah moment better and more dramatic and added to that part of the story. But we didn't have to focus that much on them and Pope. I will say that because they made it seem like I want her. I need to kill her. Like he was so obsessed with her that he literally sacrificed all his people just to try to kill Maggie. So like the whole Reaper thing, it made it better for the Daryl and Leah moment. But as far as all that other shit, yeah. I don't
Well,
know.
Which is
maybe
annoying.
during the spinoff, Negan will say, "So why was Pope so, intent on killing you? I understand. I didn't like you. Maybe they'll explore that a little bit more." And
I felt like Leah would have did it in the cabin if that was the case. I was literally like, okay, I was waiting on Leah to state her case and there was no case to state. I was like, okay, so like, did Maggie actually do something? No, nobody ever said anything. And now they're all
No.
dead.
Yeah, no, they just follow Rick's ideology. They always come back. They just knew Maggie was going to come back to try to get revenge on them. So they sought her out to prevent that. But it's like, y'all worried about those problems, but you created that problem. You created that monster in Maggie that you took over her community. Of course you're going to come back. I would. So it's just like, I don't
Pope could have led his Reapers up to the door and said, "Look, we're a bunch of fighters. We'd like to join your community. We will protect it. We'll take care of
Right.
all the
Need a place to
fighters.
stay.
We need a place to stay. We need food.
Exactly.
We will work our asses off as guards, security, whatever you need. I'll be in charge of the army. You be in charge of the farming and shit. So
Maggie might have made them their own community. That's what she was out there doing, building communities with Georgia. She could have gave them their own community. Like they didn't have to go.
They
there.
literally rolled up and just took that bitch.
And that
Maggie
dude
said, the only
was
thing
hot
I
or-
know, she said, the only thing I know is they come at night. And by the time you know they're there, you already dead. Like, literally,
Yeah.
they just showed up one day.
they were much more intimidating in the beginning, and then suddenly, when the final attack came, they weren't all that. So
I mean, she blamed Maggie for killing all her people, but she was the one who killed Pope. That
yeah,
was like a dad to her. Like, that didn't make no sense.
well, he was like a dad
Right.
with dementia at the end. And
Maggie
she's
and
like,
him killed like 5 people. Like Pope killed the rest. Like by
Yeah,
shooting them out. So it's
exactly.
just like you mad for the wrong reason. But I think
One
the
thing
Reapers should have been like short villains, like the Terminans or the Wolves. Like they should have been
The
short,
Wolves
sweet.
was a good time too. They was right
Yeah.
to the point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how the Reapers should have been, and kept them scary. You developed them too much for no reason. Like it didn't lead to anything. And Pope, just like I said, he talked. That's all he did was talk. Like
He
you
He
have
talked
to
talked
more
more
know
than
who
Negan
fit in.
did.
Yeah, like
One thing about people in the Walking Dead universe, they gonna play the blame game. They love to blame people for shit. Everybody love to blame somebody. And the thing with the Reapers that I still just can't wrap my mind around, you took somebody community and you blamed them for your people being dead. Like, it is just so beyond me. And they really believe that shit. That it's Maggie's fault that they all dead. And it's like, no, y'all just stupid as fuck.
And
did
they're
everything
supposed to
Pope said.
they're supposed to be military trained people. You go into battle, casualties happen. You know, it's like you get to
Right.
a war, you know, they should be even more cognizant of the fact that you go to war, you're going to lose people. Instead of being like, how dare they kill one of our own? Now we really have to, you know, that's more of a civvy thing. You know, oh my God, they killed George over there. We need to, you know, lynch them. Evil dies
And imagine
tonight.
how many of Maggie people that they killed that was in her community. We still don't even know how big Maggie community was. She said they barely made it out of there alive.
right.
We did
Yeah.
skip over the fact though that Maggie said to Negan that she started to trust him, and she left her boy with Negan. Like, I mean, he killed your baby daddy? I mean, you know.
A husband.
And then she's like,
I
yeah,
ain't got
no,
nothing good to
whatever's
say.
gonna happen now, whatever's gonna happen later, I will never forget the fact that you saved my kid. And I was like, but he killed your husband.
Well,
I
I
I
ain't
think
got
you're
nothing good
seeing
to say
that
about that scene.
Negan is not the same person that he was back then. But I don't think she'll ever forgive him for Glenn, but she'll accept that he's not, you know, this as horrible as she envisioned. So I don't know.
I mean,
I
Negan
understand.
always been good with kids. He was good with Carl. He was good with Judith. Like, surely he would, like, you know, save Herschel. I mean, he's never been harmful to a kid.
Yeah, one thing about the bastard, he good for protecting the kids. And I understood that Hilltop's far away from other communities. So therefore, she had nowhere else to take Herschel in such a short amount of time. So I understand. Plus, she really was leaving Herschel with Annie because I think she really do like Annie.
He like
But
that.
her and Negan are a package deal. So you kind of got to be like, all right, I trust you. But I was like, that's bullshit. The writers just said, fuck Glenn, fuck our trauma, fuck all that shit. Just, yeah,
No,
whatever. Negan and Maggie 2023.
Wait, real quick. Also, with Negan with the kids, Carl went and shot up that bitch, and Negan let him go home. So Negan
made him
Negan ain't gonna
spaghetti
kill no
too.
kids. Carl went and set that bitch. Girl, please. Carl was out there clowning. I still feel like if Carl would have died, it should have been in that moment, but we ain't gonna get into that because he died in a not Carl way. But
He shouldn't have died.
I feel like Maggie is just now coming to terms with the fact that, yeah, you don't like Negan. You will never forgive him for what he did to your husband. But I feel like she finally at the point where she just accepting it for what it is. And that's just it. Like, he is a part of our family. Negan is like the relative that she hates. Like, he's just there and all she can do is just like use him for what he good for. Like, he's just a part of our group. And you don't have to like him, but I'm happy that she accepted it. I feel like she finally accepted it.
Well,
About
when you think
time.
about it, I mean, Negan was on an opposing side. They were kind of in a conflict. And yes, he cold-bloodedly killed Abraham as well as Glenn. Let's not forget
And was
Abraham.
gonna have the nerve to make Maggie one of his wives after killing her husband. That make it even worse for me too. He wanted her. That's literally why he chose Glenn.
Yeah, Governor, I
I hate
hate-
Sasha too.
I mean, he
He
did
wanted all
he
of
did that, but considering how many people, how many saviors Rick and his people killed
Not finna
off.
talk about that. We not y'all kill me with this one story. We not finna do it.
I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying if it's eye for an eye, you know, Rick and his people killed, you know, dozens of saviors. And Negan killed 2.
Exactly.
It was only going to kill 1 until
So he
fucking
said.
Daryl, you know, ran up and punched him in the face, and then he killed
Yup.
Glenn.
mean,
So
Okay,
it's
but
not
there's
Daryl's
only. But killing is one thing. You're rubbing it in my face. You're
He had
rubbing
a
it
part,
in the.
a celebration.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
listen,
Put
and,
blood
I
on
can't.
everybody's face.
I can
And
like,
also-
for over hours though.
Negan didn't kill no more people. Negan know at the end of the day, he don't give a fuck about them people. Every last one of them people could die. You killing like people that people really love in front of them, like they everything, all they got. Negan knew that that's not the same thing. But
And, yeah,
I feel like he chose Glenn because, you know, Glenn had already had his little outburst with Maggie. So he already knew that's her man. Oh, I got something for him. Let him try. Negan already had that in the back of his mind.
I mean,
And
in
the
all
difference-
fairness, like
Go ahead,
if
Reina.
Rick never went into Satellite Outpost, never killed all these people in his sleep, they would have never walked into Negan because Negan would have not known about them. So it's their own fault that they got into war with Negan. That's how I
Well,
see it.
the bikers
because
who got blown
Negan
up.
was gonna
found
do that
them.
anyway.
Well,
Because
yeah,
he wanted
right.
to take everybody's
It's-
shit.
But that's one point because Negan got pissed off at the point his outpost was taken out like that. Like, and then they stole the kids too. I mean, you know, there are people, but I'm not saying that our people are like good people like we think them because I also can see like the other side. Like I'm a savior by heart. Like I love
Oh
the
my
savior. I will always be a savior. Like
Lord
listen,
Jesus,
I will be.
fix it.
No, never, ever. I have a freaking bomber jacket that says saviors. I'm wearing that daily. But no, like if they didn't do that, this whole shit would never happen. Like that's how I feel about it.
I don't see that. Negan went around in every community he found. You make his shit, grow his shit, take care of them. And if you don't have nothing left over for you to eat, I don't give a fuck.
The
You knew
part
all
that
the
made
other
me sick
communities.
though, the part that made me sick is like it ain't just about the killing of Glenn and Abraham. It's just about like what kind of people they were. Like when Glenn killed somebody for the first time, he busted into tears. Like he hated that he had to do that because he has a heart. The Saviors gloated every time they kill people. They put their kills on the wall and stuff. Like these are not good people. I don't feel bad that they died. The world is better without them. Like they didn't
Facts.
add anything to the world but depression.
Facts.
And like
Facts.
they
Negan
just were not
should've-
good people.
Negan should have listened to Simon from day one, and Sanctuary would have never fallen, and they would still be alive. So would my man would still be alive.
Look,
And
see,
that's true because you don't fuck with Rick Grimes and then leave him alive. That's just a no-no.
Well,
she said she gonna stick beside him. And you see, you saw what Negan said. If I was to go back and do it again, I'd kill all of y'all. He was
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's serves him right too, man. Like if we've all seen his story from day one, we all would have been Negan. Come on, I'm Negan forever.
I wouldn't have been Negan. I would have been like, your ass tripping. I'm not. I would be like, your ass tripping. Leave them folks alone.
That's the other thing. Once you in bed with them, you can't leave. You see, the one dude, they had Dwight track him down. That's why I'm like, how are you forcing people to be a part of your group?
They also stole stuff from the Saviors. So if they had just
Okay, well,
left,
he was a savior. That was his shit too. What was he gonna have on the road?
Mhm.
well,
When
apparently,
he brought him, he didn't even really have nothing.
apparently they were not giving the diabetic girl, what she needed, which was kind of.
Oh yeah, and Dwight had literally, I don't care what nobody say, Dwight had the best redemption arc out of anybody. I wanted him to die so fucking bad.
I hate Dwight with a passion, just
That
for
was
the
me.
fact that my man Simon got killed off like that so coldly, and you let Dwight walk off was the biggest fucking rat in the whole show. Oh no, I'm not doing this. I can talk about this for 2 hours and get really mad because Simon did not deserve that.
That is so
My
funny.
man did not deserve that.
There was literally never anybody higher on my shit list than like I wanted Dwight to die so bad because he was Negan, but he was a bitch. Oh, I used to hate Dwight. Greatest redemption arc ever.
He's gotten his punishment now. He's with Sherry, so it's all good.
literally. She's so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
She's getting better, y'all. She's getting better.
I mean, talking
She's
to
a
the
7
actress,
series.
I feel better about the actress who was also pissed off that Sherry was just like, I don't think it's the right time, Dwight, and I don't want to be with you right now, Dwight, and it was just yeah. But anyway, so Leah and Maggie have their little fight. Leah's about to kill Maggie, and who saves her butt? No, it's Daryl. Daryl comes and kills Leah.
Headshot.
It's like he
Nice
doesn't even
one.
hesitate. He's like, I might have hit that shit, but she's messing with my family, and he takes her out. So he could have avoided this whole thing if he had just killed Leah, way back then.
They always come
10
back.
chances. When he had 10 fucking chances.
But then again, if Maggie didn't shoot all the Reapers who were walking away and they had a deal, maybe Leah wouldn't have come looking for her. So
why are you lying? You know that ain't true.
Right.
Daryl gave Leah 30 motherfucking chances, and every fucking time she would not let it go. Every time. Until she didn't have a choice no more, and Maggie and when Daryl killed her. I was so fucking happy. That whole time I was so upset. I was screaming. I'm like the point where she was standing over Maggie and she was putting her whole body into that fucking knife. I'm like, all right, bitch, they said Maggie got a spin off, but that knife getting a little close to my comfort. I was getting worked up. And then just headshot. And I'm like, who was it? And it was Daryl, and he literally didn't give a fuck. I guess he completely made his peace with it because he gave that bitch 30 chances. And she chose violence every time.
It would have been interesting if the knife had gone into her eye and she'd wore an eye patch and looked like, Maggie Governor.
He gave that bitch 30 chances. She chose violence every time.
Norman said they did a alternate take where him and Leah had a conversation during that scene, but Norman said that him and Lynn decided that there was nothing to talk about. Leah just had to die. So I was glad they played it that way.
Maggie house that time. Daryl ain't been doing that. That's why the bitch was still alive. I would have been mad if they would have did it that way. I didn't know that scene was an option.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to see it just, in deleted scenes, but yeah.
Can they please post deleted scenes from season 1 all the way till now, please? Just every once in a while, just randomly throw up a 10-minute behind the scene. Or just a whole video of behind the scenes for this episode, please.
They used to. They don't do it like they used to no more.
No, they don't do a lot of things. They used to keep secrets, too. Anyway. So the Commonwealth rolls up, and after Leah gets taken out, and unfortunately the glass must have messed up his aim because he only got, Lance in the cheek. I was like, damn, that was close.
So mad.
That would have ended a lot of things if Daryl had just been slightly to the left.
I'm telling you.
He did
Lance
quit
is highly upset because he can't go back to the Commonwealth looking like that. He gonna have to have a story to tell Pamela why the fuck you look like that.
Mm-hmm. But see, the crazy thing is now, not to jump ahead, but everything is about to go to chaos at Commonwealth thanks to Connie. So it's if he do go back, now's the perfect time when things are about to be chaotic. That's what makes me sick is the possibility he could get away with this. But we're gonna talk about that later.
Oh, that ending, baby, we're going to get to that because I'm upset.
Well, first of all, Lance goes in there and then he's like, that's it, take it all or whatever he said. And you can see Daryl and Maggie meeting up with Aaron and Gabe. And obviously they're going to go hook up with those other people. And from there, I don't know where they're going to go because Commonwealth took over Alexandria, which makes sense because there's people there.
Lance's Commonwealth people, not the actual Commonwealth. Pam don't know about this shit that he doing what he doing. She think he over there being a proper diplomat.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but they're hanging the Commonwealth flag. And then they take over Hilltop, which has nobody in it. So what? They're just taking over a burnt-out mansion and an outpost?
They wonder, when they did that, I was like, do y'all think Maggie really gonna go back home? It's not happening.
Yeah.
And then they took over Oceanside.
We gonna
that made me sad.
That coin made me nervous. Him flipping that coin like that,
exactly.
Do I kill all these people or do I let them live?
He killing all of them people. I think he gonna do it.
I think he
I'm
is.
literally waiting on a major death.
Yeah.
And what have I been telling y'all from the beginning? Why the fuck did y'all tell them about Oceanside? Why? That's always been our little tuck to the side little community, If they need something, we got them. If we need something, they got us, but we leave them alone. So, I've been telling y'all, why would y'all give up Oceanside? Why?
Oceanside don't like people.
And then y'all need to go tell them that y'all into it with Lance. Y'all could have have sent one of y'all people over there, and they would have made it over there before Lance got over there. Like when Maggie was going to go take her shit and go hide him, they could have sent somebody to go tell Oceanside. Oh, but no, now y'all want to forget about Oceanside all of a sudden. I'm so fucking pissed. And
I
where's
think
Cindy?
I don't know where she at, and I think Lance too is taking them out because they made the decision to heavily side with Maggie. Like they made it a point to be like, if Maggie don't do such and such, we not doing it. So he's like, the quickest way to hurt Maggie is to take out the people she closest with. I already got her community. Now I'm gonna slaughter these people, and she can't do nothing about it. So he thinks.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Well, I'm
That's
curious
why
to
he's flipping
see
that
if
coin.
he slaughters all of them or just some of them. You know.
Oh, he lined them up. It's gonna be all or nothing. It
Yeah,
has to be.
I'm
What
so
I don't
pissed
understand is what is the value of these communities without people in them? You know.
He wants to put his own people in them because
Yeah.
these people are going to resist. Maggie has, shown that, I'm not, bending to your will. And Oceanside too. They're like, you got a lot to offer, but I don't want it. I can fend for myself. And he don't like that. He wants to be able to hand you the golden plate. Like he wants you to think you need him, and they don't, and it bothers him. He has no
Literally,
power.
it's literally all his fucking ego. Because, like, even Negan was a piece of shit dictator, and we all know that. But at the end of the day, Negan still has some fucking sense. He wasn't completely off the rails. Lance is completely off the fucking rails. These people have been a self-sustaining community the entire apocalypse, and you don't think that's valuable at all? Do you know how to fish? You've been sitting in the fucking office your whole life. You always been a diplomat. You don't know how to fend for yourself. You don't know how to grow shit. That's why you had Carol go take care of the people who grow poppies. You don't know how to do shit when it comes to having to survive. You like to tell people what to do. It's all his ego, and it's so fucking annoying. Like, I can't wait for Lance to get his. He can't outlive this show. No way. He got it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will get his eventually, but what I'm curious to see, I mean, he is taking over all these communities, and in the meantime,
with nobody in them.
And in the meantime, back in the Commonwealth, Pamela walks in, and I was wondering how they were going to get the word out, but an underground newspaper basically saying the Miltons are lying, and
Pam is not happy about it.
she is not happy. So the repercussions of that are going to be very, very interesting.
I love the fact that she don't have nobody to blame. She can't do nothing but be mad. Stephanie played it so smooth. She went in there and put
Max.
Max.
That's just like she been doing every day at the Commonwealth.
We just like Max.
It was like,
Max.
they wrote a paper about you? Oh my God.
Right, like you did it, not me. What I'm supposed to do? Like, come on now. I just couldn't do nothing but laugh. I'm like, you finally getting what you deserve. And is she not a bad person? She's just naive. She don't know no other way, which is sad. Which means you shouldn't be a leader if you can't think outside.
He's holding on to the old world.
Well, she's
like
also.
This.
I mean, you say she's not a bad person, but when Max, not Stephanie, was like, we should help these poorer people, she was like, yeah, fuck that. You know, we need to put it towards a celebration. It's our one big day. We're going to, have our celebration, and we're going to put that $50,000 towards flowers or fireworks or some bullshit.
That pissed me off. Because
$50,000 is quite a bit of money now. Could you imagine in the fucking apocalypse how much money $50,000 is?
Right.
What got me was Stephanie was like, "Oh, we can help these people." Pamela literally started shaking. Help people. Like she literally started
She's like,
shaking. And then she tried to snap out of it. Oh no, it's gonna go towards the celebration. Girl, we already saw your initial reaction. Stop it. Stop trying to sugarcoat it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Max said that for a reason to see if Pamela was like a really good person or not. And she was like, if she's not taking it, then maybe all these rumors are actually true and we're going to go ahead with a plan.
It gave Stephanie more
It was
fuel.
a test.
Yeah, it gave
sure.
her more fuel because she was going to do it
Motivation.
anyway. But like when she did that, it was like, fuck this bitch. Yeah.
And
It
it's
gave
not
her-
like
it gave her extra
it's not
fuel.
like Max was saying, let's take this money and just give it out to them. It's like, let's give this money, use it to help these less fortunate people get the skills they need to become more valuable in our society. So it wasn't like a handout.
She played that right.
Right? She literally said scholarships and she started fucking shaking.
She hyperventilated big time. I was like, can
Oh
someone
my
actually...
God.
He's
give
like,
people
what would
money.
Mitch McConnell say? Hell no.
Right? So
Anyway.
bad.
So,
Pam got exactly what she deserved coming to her. all she want people to respect and revere her, and the fact that that's shaky right now, I'm living for it.
Well, she calls
That's a
herself
good way
governor.
for her to get hers.
I would
Right,
love to
because
see
she's not an evil
elections.
person. Like,
Wait, what'd you say,
yeah.
Carl?
I would love to see elections. See if someone else could lead the community.
Machond!
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean someone else
Definitely.
good.
And then
But-
Yumiko working right up under Machond. Machond is giving Supreme Court justice. And then we could have Yumiko under her. That'd be a great government.
All
I
right.
don't think Machond coming back. It's been 6 months. Something bad didn't happen out
Stop,
there.
be quiet. Don't say
You
that.
still found that
I'm-
whole
I'm
army
scared.
though. When she left, she saw all the people coming up, so she must
Well,
come back somehow.
6 months though. It's been 6 months. Angela
I mean,
Okay,
Rick's
jumped
yeah,
been
through
gone
time.
for
Like,
longer. Rick's gone for longer. I mean,
I know, but that ain't good. 6 months and you ain't checked in or nothing. That scares me. I don't know.
Because she don't got no cell phone. She can't call them. She's too far away.
I
Yeah.
know, but like
If she
there-
did,
I
she'd
don't
only be able to call Negan anyway. I really wish Jeffrey had shown up for this. We could have totally teased him about the cell phone thing.
Right?
Though-
That was funny. He was like, oops.
Well,
I didn't even notice it until I saw the tweet.
There is a possible explanation that he found the cell phone Aaron was using to show pictures of the Commonwealth. He found it and was like, what the fuck is a cell phone doing here? And just put it in his pocket. So they could explain it.
If they wanted to lie and make up a story, but yeah, because Jeffrey, why your phone hanging out your pocket? Sir, why your phone in your trailer? Why you got that phone in your pocket? He probably forgot to take it out.
Yeah. But anyway, we are into overtime, and we will not be back for quite a few months, I guess. I don't know
Ooh.
when the last part is going to air. If they're going to make us
It's set
wait
to
all
fall
the way
today.
till October, or what's going to happen?
that's what it said here. When the episode ended, it said back in the fall. Is what it said on my TV.
Which could be September, but it's going to be a while. So this has been fun for the past 8 episodes. Final thoughts, predictions for the next half of the season. This time, Tomaj, you don't have to worry about. You haven't seen an episode ahead.
Right?
So, Tomaj, start us off. What do you think is going to happen in the last 8, and then shameless self-promotion?
I just think Commonwealth's going to go into chaos. I think Lance is going to slaughter Oceanside. I think he's just going to start going mad because like he don't know how to take losing, and it's just like he's gone too far. There's no turning back at this point. He had every chance to go back. He didn't. So it's like now our people have to try to get back to Commonwealth and warn our people. But I think Lance may get there first, and I think he may try to, I don't know, get word out to maybe more loyal soldiers that he has. And I think he may try to have them round up our people and maybe hold them hostage or something. Or I don't know. He's going to try to find a way to get revenge. But I just don't know how like for Maggie, yeah, but he's going to be pissed at Daryl too. So he's going to try to get him. He's going to be pissed at Aaron. And like I said, if they took Alexandria, Aaron never went to Commonwealth. So does that mean they got Gracie? Like, I don't know.
Judith.
Oh my
No,
God!
right.
You got a point. Oh my God!
So
When
it's
they
just
was
like,
running that Alexandria, I was literally like, who's there right now? Because I don't know who all is there. Oh my God!
yeah, because he didn't go to Commonwealth, so Gracie would be there. So
True.
it's just
And he
like,
never had a chance to go home because he been out on the fucking road with Lance all this time.
mhm.
Oh
So I think
my
it's
God.
going to be a fight to try to get word back to our people and try to beat Lance. It's just a race for beating him. But Commonwealth's going to be deteriorating. So I don't know how it ends. I just don't. But like I said, my final ending prediction is we're going to run the community. Somehow. It's going to be hell to get there, but we're going to be running that bitch by the end of it. But yeah, y'all can catch me in my reactions over on Big Bro and Little Sis Reacts, where I do reactions with my little sister. We do tons of like DC shows. We do so much. On Patreon, we've been doing Battlestar Galactica, Star Trek Voyager, Star Trek Discovery, Alias. I just started Game of Thrones. The first episode
Oh my
reaction
God!
was
I'm
up.
gonna pray for you.
Yeah.
I'm on
I've
season
been here.
4. Woo, Jesus!
So yeah, y'all can catch all that over on my channel, and yeah, We in the final stretch, y'all.
Reina, what's your thoughts about the last part of this season?
What I might think is gonna come is Land's gonna go insane. Commonwealth's gonna be chaos, just like Tomaj already said. I think we're gonna have a lot of major deaths coming, following up each other, like one after another, like to thin out the group. We're gonna win, of course. I hope so. I don't really know much else to say. I think we're gonna lose a lot of people in the last couple of episodes. So I think we all need to get ready emotional, because that's gonna be some emotional damage right there. Y'all can find me on Twitch, Werewolf NL0. I play games, talk about daily life, about basically everything. You can also find me on the Gamers app, where I host events for everybody to game together in a safe community without any toxicity. It's great. You should all check it out. And that's me.
Awesome. Sean?
Y'all, I am awaiting the big deaths to see if Walking Dead can try to hurt me, because as we know, they can't hurt me at this point. They didn't hurt me already too bad over the years, and they can't hurt me no more. So we shall see. You know, they love to come up with a new way to hurt you. I'm not going to give no guesses. I don't have no guesses. I don't know who the fuck I know who not going to die, but I don't know who going to die. And I'm just scared. I'm really sad that Walking Dead is ending, and at the end of the show, I just want to have closure. That's all I want. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I just want closure. I don't need no loose ends. I don't know. What did Abraham say?
Loose ends make my ass itch.
Thank you. Like, I can't. I don't need no loose ends. All I want at the end of this show is closure. So I'm sad my favorite show is ending, and you can find all of my full uncut reactions to everything. Like everything I've never reacted to is on my website. Now, since Walking Dead is over, I'm going to start Euphoria, because everybody want me to fucking watch Euphoria.
Good luck over there.
And I'm going to keep going and finish Game of Thrones, because I'm already damn near like halfway through, even though I had to take like a break because the Red Wedding fucked me up.
Jesus.
I'm still not over it.
No more, because he has not seen.
No, I ain't gonna say nothing else.
I've heard of it.
The episode is not even titled The Red Wedding, so you're not gonna even know what it is. Wow. I was waiting on the episode that was called The Red Wedding. It's not titled that, so you're not gonna know what it is. Just don't look up nothing.
Yeah,
I won't.
I've read all the books, so I'm like, people are like, oh shit, this happened. I'm like, oh, you finally got there.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can find all of my full uncut reactions on my website. I'm gonna be doing. Oh, and I gotta finish all the Harry Potter movies. So that's the content as of now. And yeah.
You didn't tell them what the website is. You didn't tell them what
it's right here. Y'all can see it. Machond.com.
No, it's they can't see shit. It's
oh
not
my
showing.
God! All this time, I thought they could see it. My website is Machond.com. Machond.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
You never watch them afterwards to see that none of the names show up. So therefore,
I be looking at it live, and it's not even on the screen, and I never paid attention to it. Oops.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on Lance to get. That's the number one nigga on my hit list right now is Lance. Oh, that's what I was about to say real quick. I think that Lance, his dirt gonna stay outside of Commonwealth, because he don't do no dirt in Commonwealth. He do all his dirt outside. I hope he don't bring that shit to Commonwealth where our kids is at, because that's what we not finna do. So yeah, that's what I want to say about Lance. Fuck him. I can't wait for him to get his, and he better not take that shit to Commonwealth.
All right, my final thoughts. Definitely there's going to be a conflict between Lance and Pamela. In fact, this whole expose on the Miltons is going to probably be an advantage to Lance. However, I predict he's going to get shot in the fucking face by Carol. And that's going to be a wonderful thing.
I'm here for it.
That is my prediction for his end. Carol will be the architect of his destruction, and he will look betrayed, thinking Carol was like on his side all this time. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of heartache. I'm hoping Angela doesn't pull any punches the last 8 episodes. But obviously, yeah, there's a lot of shit going down. But I think there's going to be a civil war. I think there's going to be Lance versus Pamela versus people who don't want either of those assholes. and it's going to be chaos. But in the end, the closure will be, the Commonwealth will be run by like Ezekiel or somebody. He will be the king, though he probably won't call himself the king.
He won't. Nobody other than our people even know that he's King Ezekiel. Like, he really renounced his throne.
He didn't even tell Princess, which was like, that would have been fucking awesome. He's like,
I was so mad. I forgot Princess don't know, but.
Because he loved her energy. She was perfect for the kingdom. I was
literally,
sick.
oh my God, him and Princess could be best friends. That'll literally just take their relationship to the next level. Because she already loves Ezekiel.
For some weird reason, I think Ezekiel is the first one to die, actually.
Oh my God.
I hope not, but I have a feeling he is, because
thanks for being a downer.
He's getting more screen time, and that always happens. So I think it's going to be, Ezekiel's going to be the first one to go.
The only person that I won't be hurt dying is Gabriel. Because I like Aaron, I like Rosita. Eugene, he cool. Eugene is a big reason with our people, obviously. Like, he's just as big of a reason as Gerald, Rick, and Carol that we all still alive. So I give Eugene his props. I don't want Maggie to die. I don't want Negan to die. I don't want none of the kids to die. Ezekiel, Carol, like, I don't want nobody to die. Honestly, maybe Macomb, Magna, and Gabriel are probably the only people I will be okay with dying, honestly. That, like, won't hurt me.
I guess they're like, well, fuck you. Anyways, we will be back in the fall, and we will do all kinds of discussions for the final 8 episodes of The Walking Dead. I keep sending invites out, just to let you know, people. I keep sending invites out to Jeffrey Dean Morgan. One day, probably the very last episode, he's going to show up for like 5 minutes and be like, fuck y'all. So, but we'll see what happens. Everyone out there, thanks for watching. We will see you, down the line as the roller coaster will continue. So, Governor, of course, check out Fandom Spotlight. We got a lot of panels coming on. And we will see.
Fandom Spotlight come with the content.
Yeah, we got tons from Fandemic. We just put up a John Bernthal panel from Steel City. We'd put up a Stephen Ogg one, but his flight was delayed. So it's not his fault, but it happened. But we'll see everyone next time. And Governor and this amazing crew out.
I'm coming back to YouTube, I swear.
Highly sedated, intoxicated, we're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious